So the new Superman movie is streaming now. I heard it's pretty good. Hey, speaking of Superman, aliens are weird, aren't they? Hey, speaking of aliens, did you know that there were UFO sightings in the BC? Well, apparently there were. Welcome to Fascinating Firsts, the show where I talk about the firsts that fascinate me. This episode, aliens. The first record I could find on Wikipedia is that of this person. However, already this is apparently a disputed claim because it comes from a record that doesn't seem to be truthful. So let's not talk about that one. Let's talk about 218 BC, when there was a report from the Roman Republic in Italia, or Italy, where Livy, a historian, had seen phantom ships that were gleaming in the sky. Keep in mind that this was reported during winter, so that could have affected something. However, staying in the Roman Republic in Asia in 73 BC, according to Plutarch, there was going to be a battle between two armies when, and I quote, the sky burst asunder and a huge flame-like body was seen to fall between the two armies. End quote. The shape of the object was also reported to be that of a wine jar or pithos. The cool reporting I saw was that of chariots hurtling through the clouds. This was in AD 65 and reported by Flavius Josephus. There are a couple other sightings from BC and other AD years, but first I want to talk about how interesting it is that we have UFO sightings all the way back then. To me, aliens are only a relatively recent thing, but if you look at them as these extremely advanced beings, it could make sense that they appeared to us earlier. And if they did visit us then, imagine what technology they have now that thousands of years have passed. Heck, look at the technology that we have now that thousands of years have passed. All this is me operating under the assumptions that aliens have definitely visited us. But more on that later. For now, more ancient alien sightings. In around 740 AD, many Irish annals have entries that are essentially talking about ships with their crews that were seen in the air. An annal is, of course, a record from a specific year. Irish annals are, of course, annals from the country of Ireland. Ireland is, of course, a country in the EU. You can stop me at any time. Speaking of stop time, I've seen some great paintings that seem to depict, well, UFOs. Like this one, this one, this one, and my personal favorite, this one. Doesn't that just look really cool? Now I can practically hear you screaming at me. This could just represent God's power or his divinity or something like that, especially that third one. And to that I have to say, stop yelling at me, and yes, you are right. A lot of these are religious paintings, and the otherworldly UFO could just be representing the power or the presence or the light of God. However, living in a world where aliens witness the birth of Jesus Christ is definitely a world I want to live in. That sounds awesome. Moving on slightly, I want to talk about more paintings. Cave paintings, to be specific. Yep, you heard me. We have cave paintings that seem to depict aliens. Look at this one. Now this one. Wow, so many aliens. Now, to be fair, I am unsure what these are depicting. I was not around when these things were painted. But fun fact, my great 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 times 15 or whatever grandfather was the first drawing of a stick figure in human history. So yeah, I guess you could say I'm somewhat related to someone famous. Let me know if you want a video on him. Tangent aside, the idea of cave paintings depicting aliens is so cool to me as well. On the one hand, sure, these could be made up from the imagination of some cave children or their parents trying to entertain them. We already do have evidence that cave paintings had actual animations to them, so why not draw photos of weird looking creatures? On the other hand, even things like that animation depict what they see in the world, and not things from their imagination, technically speaking. What do you guys think the answer to this is? Anyways, it's a rather juicy topic that I would love to sink my teeth into for a future deep dive video, so comment if you want that, or keep an eye out on the channel. I might start posting more than once a week. Bringing us back to the topic at hand, let's talk about the first UFO sighting in more recent history. In 1639, this man, John Winthrop, a Puritan making his way to conquering the Americas, wrote about three men in a boat in swampy waters. He wrote that while they were rowing, they had seen a great light in the night sky. He went on to say that the boatmen said that it ran as swift as an arrow and was darting between the boatmen and the nearby town. It is written that diverse and credible sources saw the same light around the same place. This was happening 2 to 3 hours after the first sighting, by the way. Eventually, the light had disappeared, and the three boatmen had found that they were about 1.6 kilometers or 1 mile upstream, with no memory of how they got there. There is a possibility that they could have been carried by the wind or a reverse tidal flow, but come on, no memory of even moving? I assume these people know boats, as they would have to be on them often. Anyways, This memory lapse could suggest that they were unaware of an entire duration of time. Usually, when people experience this, it has to do with abduction. Were they abducted? Were they lying? Who knows? There are some explanations that are too sciencey for me, but basically, gases from the swamp can cause lights. But if you're listening closely, I didn't say that this was rising from the swamp, so this makes the gaseous explanation unlikely. Now, talking on my earlier topic, I like to believe aliens exist, but I do not believe that they have visited us in any meaningful way. And by that, I mean maybe they popped past, maybe they didn't, I don't know. But to me, aliens or creatures from other worlds definitely exist and are real. But unfortunately, that's all the time I have for today. I love this topic. I love aliens and things to do with aliens, and I could talk about them for hours. So if you want a video on aliens, please let me know. There are also more UFO sightings in the ancient past of AD, so those would be cool to talk about as well. In any case, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know you did by leaving a comment and liking. Also, do you believe in aliens? Leave a comment letting me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I appreciate you watching this video, and I appreciate you taking this dive with me. Until next time, au revoir.